There are so many iconic and great Marvel villains like a Thanos, Venom, Green Goblin, Loki, Ultron, and Doctor Doom, but there is one villain that stands above the rest of them all as Marvel's best villain, and his name is Magneto. Magneto is undoubtedly Marvel's most coolest villain they have ever created, while also being the most complex and tragic villain they have ever created. Add on top of that he has the ability to control metal, which also makes him one of the strongest Marvel villains of all time. Not to mention they gave him such a cool name by naming him Magneto. Like, I know the writers were cooking when they created that name, but what takes him to another level is his one-liners that he drops in every single movie he's in. Like this iconic one-liner from X-Men First Class.
Let's just say I'm Frankenstein's monster. I'm looking for my creator.
The reason why this moment is so iconic is because of the backstory we get in the beginning of the movie. If you're unfamiliar with Magneto's backstory, his backstory is pretty much being a Jewish kid who survived the Holocaust and grew up with mutant powers and was persecuted his whole entire life. And this backstory is not just some tragic backstory that doesn't add to his character like a sad anime backstory would. No, this backstory is integral to Magneto's character that ultimately makes him Marvel's best villain. And with that backstory, Magneto is just on straight demon timing throughout all of X-Men First Class, and he has every right to be on demon timing. Like this amazing scene that holds so much weight to it because we know what Magneto went through throughout this whole entire movie.
They're just following orders.
I've been at the mercy of men just following orders. Never again.
And these scenes are made so much better when you have an amazing actor like Michael Fassbender delivering these lines. Because Michael Fassbender is just such an amazing actor with so many iconic performances under his belt. And even when Magneto is not in great movies like X-Men First Class, Magneto is still the best thing in bad movies because his character simply shines through bad movies. Like look at X-Men Last Stand, where we have another iconic actor like Ian McKellen who delivers this golden line in a bad movie.
So proud of being a mutant. Where's your mark?
I have been marked once, my dear, and let me assure you, no needle shall ever touch my skin again.
It's like when Magneto steps on screen, every writer has to go crazy with their lines because of how iconic Magneto is. And even though I called Magneto a villain in the beginning of this video, he's more of an anti-hero because he is fighting for what he believes to be right. If you're unfamiliar how the X-Men group was created, they're simply an allegory for the idea of people who are persecuted for being different. And that is an underlying theme throughout all of these movies. The mutants in these movies are either trying to hide their powers to blend into society or by trying to save people to get in the good graces of regular people. And the two leaders on both sides are Magneto and Charles Xavier, which are supposed to resemble two iconic figures in history who fought for what they thought were right, which is like Xavier being like Martin Luther King by making peace with non-mutants and trying to coexist with them, while Magneto is more like Malcolm X, who believes we can't coexist and we should fight for the freedom of all mutants by any means necessary. And when you have a foundation like that for a character, it's hard not to be an amazing villain. And that is never more obvious when Magneto gives us this amazing speech in X-Men Days of Future Past, when Magneto says people are afraid of something that is different.
You built these weapons to destroy us. Why? Because you are afraid of our gifts. Because we are different. Well, I'm here to tell you, to tell the world, you're right to fear us. We are the future.
Moments like these make Magneto so cool and really add to the richness of his character, but at the same time, they're not afraid to just give us some badass Magneto moments. Like, it's really cool to have these righteous goals, but being able to back it up is something else, because Magneto is on a different level when it comes to the rest of the X-Men. In case you don't know, mutants have a ranking on how strong they are based on their powers they get. It goes from Epsilon level, which are the weakest mutants, to Beta level, which are the mid-level mutants, to Alpha level mutants, which are strong mutants, and then there's a fourth level, where the best and the strongest mutants are, called Omega level mutants. And of course, my glorious king Magneto would be on there. And we can see throughout all the movies, Magneto makes other Omega level mutants and other strong mutants look weak in comparison to him. Like, for example, look at all the times Magneto has this washed Wolverine. There's not a single time where Wolverine was even close to winning a battle against Magneto. It always ends with Wolverine getting thrown somewhere or someone coming to save Wolverine. Or like how Apocalypse, the supposed strongest mutant, was giving all these mutants upgrades to the powers, like Metal Wings to Angel, upgrading the powers of Psylocke and Storm, but when he meets Magneto, he's just like, nah, I can't give you an upgrade, you're already too powerful, just believe in yourself. And Magneto's just like, okay, I will believe in myself, and starts terraforming the earth and creates his own energy force around him like he's Gojo. Like, if Magneto just has a single piece of metal, it's already GG's for the rest of the people. Like, you pretty much already lost, just go home. For an example of that, we can look at the time when he was able to escape a prison with just the iron from a prison guard's blood. Like, looking back on the scene, it must hurt to be that prison guard. Like, that feels feels like the most excruciating pain you could possibly feel. And when Magneto's escaping from this prison, he hits the most craziest pose of all time. Like, you know, Magneto's him when he's hitting these types of poses, or the time Magneto was able to stop multiple warships' arsenal of missiles, and not just stop them, but turn them around and send them back at the warships. Like, Magneto is just really at another level compared to the rest of these scrubs. The only one who's really at Magneto's level is Professor X, but ever since Magneto put on the helmet, Professor X really doesn't stand a chance anymore. And speaking about his helmet, him getting his helmet is just such a satisfying moment in X-Men First Class when he takes off the helmet and eliminates Shaw with the same coin he told him to move as a child. Like, there is just no situation where Magneto isn't the strongest person in the room, since every room probably contains at least some part of metal in it. And if you show up without any metal, then you're pretty much just showing up with sticks and stones. You're showing up to a losing battle, because Magneto will surely have at least some sort of metal on him. Magneto is just my favorite Marvel villain, and it's definitely the best Marvel villain they have ever created. The only real flaw he really has is that Marvel can just never give him a good live action suit. Like, all the live action suits they give him are just kind of mid. The only real Marvel villain that can really compete with Magneto is Doctor Doom, but he's a different topic for a different day. So let me know down in the comments what is your favorite Magneto moment, and don't forget to like and subscribe. It helps out the channel very much, because 99% of you guys who watch my videos aren't subscribed. So don't be that 99%, be that 1%. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hope to see you guys next time. Later, hater. Peace.